Hey everybody, Howard Jacobson here with Sick to Fit, Plant Yourself Podcast, Well Start Health. And this is Coaching Week in honor and recognition of the fact that the Well Start Coaching Academy, Coach Training Academy, is kicking off another class starting in November. It's a 12-week program and it teaches you everything you need to know to be a kick-ass, wicked effective health coach to help other people change their diets, change their lifestyles, and achieve their cherished health and performance outcomes. So today, I want to talk about the fine art of not giving a shit. And this is one of the most difficult things that coaches have to master. And this is coaching whether you are a professional coach and someone hires you and says, I'd like you to help me, or whether you're coaching, let's say, internally in an organization. So it's not just about health coaching. This is coaching in general, helping other people make changes to achieve their goals, which is kind of a rough definition we'll use of coaching. And whether you're internal in an organization or whether you're doing it informally, like you're trying to help a child or a partner or a friend or a neighbor who wants to change. So we're starting with the premise that the person wants to change, and you're not just like going up to them and saying, hey, you slob, you need to eat better and start jogging. All right, that's not coaching, that's, abuse. But let's say the person wants to change. They say, boy, I really, let's say it's a spouse or partner, and they say, I really want to eat better. I see how you're eating and you've got all this energy and you look great, and I'm on a couple of meds and I feel sluggish and I don't have much sex drive, and can you help me? I want to eat better. And if you are like me, like most people I know, you want to jump all over that immediately. Like, oh my God, let me read these 4 books, watch these 7 documentaries. Let's go to the store right now. Let's do a kitchen clean out. Let's take your blood pressure. Let's go get you a scale. Let's find you 7 apps, right? And you become so overwhelming. It becomes your show. Right? You're the one who's like taking charge. And as a result, the other person's autonomy just withers and they withdraw and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. And they'll play along maybe, but they've lost ownership because you have jumped in with ownership. Or let's say you're working with someone as a coach and they're doing great, and they're doing great for week after week after week. And then they tell you, oh, I just did terribly this week. And you're thinking about getting on the phone with them. And this happens to me all the time. I'm preparing for this call and I catch myself working really hard to think, what are we going to do during this call? This is so important. We got to catch this right now. We got to figure this out this instant. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? And I realize that I am putting pressure on myself. Like this outcome is a referendum on me as a coach and me as a human being. And at that point, I have to take a deep breath and breathe. Hi, Dee. Welcome. And remind myself, this is not my job. My job is to help my clients achieve their goals. My job is to enable my clients to exercise free will. It's not my job to exercise that free will for them in any particular direction. So whenever I catch myself gripping an outcome, like I really want this to happen, or oh no, what if we don't have a great coaching session today and they continue binging? So we have a saying in coach training that I will repeat multiple times every class, which is this: if you are working, you're working too hard. Coaching is not a process of effort. Coaching is not where you have to work really hard, figure things out, be on your toes, have 5 different coaching training manuals open and be flipping back and forth to figure out what to say now. Coaching is an organic process of co-discovery. Together, you're asking questions to figure out what's going on, what happened, what do we want to happen, of co-understanding what are the deeper dynamics here, what's really going on, of co-identifying options for change. Instead of you saying, okay, here's what you got to do. This is the way. This is what worked for me. I saw this on a podcast once. This was in Forks Over Knives. This is what you got to do. When we give people an option, guess what? It's not an option. Option means that it is optional, and it means that there are other options as well. So brainstorming, what do you want to do here? Maybe the person has slipped and they're back to eating crap, and they're like, you know what? I'm happier this way. And it's not for us to judge that. It's not for us to impose our own goals on them, our own value system. And it's not just that it's ethically wrong. It doesn't work, right? The minute the person who is making these changes feels like they don't have 100% ownership, even if it's a tiny bit, if they feel like they're doing even the littlest bit to please you, they've lost tremendous amount of traction. There's a lot of research that shows that our goals that are informed by our design, informed. Today I am a man. There's a lot of research that shows that our choices, our goals that are informed by social pressure, by trying to please other people, by trying to get external approval, are far weaker than those things that we do for ourselves, for our own pleasure, for our own gain, for our own benefit. And so by imposing, even energetically, without saying anything, if you come in and you've got this urge for them to do well, it's natural. Of course, you're going to feel that. But you've got to learn how to deal with it and how to let it go before you interact, or else it will poison the coaching. It will remove their autonomy and put it on you. And now the more that happens, the more they're going to want to give you, because it's fun to make someone else responsible. That lets them off the hook. If their achievement is dependent on how good you are as a coach, they're going to give you everything. They're going to give you all their shit. And when they fail, it's going to be your fault. And if it's a professional relationship, that's when they're likely to ask for their money back. So catch yourself and make sure you go in not giving a shit about their outcome. You don't care what they eat. I don't care how much of an ethical vegan you are. You don't get to care about their ethics and morality when you are coaching them. You are simply a guide, a sounding board, a tactician, to help them achieve what they want to achieve and to help them identify what they deep down really, really want. That's where you can get nuanced, where you can question them and lead them in such a way that you move them away from the momentary pleasures of junk, of sitting on the couch, of eating crap, of all the distractions and addictions and ways we have of getting high to avoid our feelings, to help people align with their best selves, with their long-term thinking, with their bigger goals. But that's different than imposing your goals on them or making them feel like they have to do something to please you. So that's all I got for today. Make sure you don't give a shit. And in the coach training, we will show you how to do that. Lots of ways, lots of techniques. But they basically come down to recognizing that you are you and they are them. And you don't actually have a say in anyone else's life. You know, if they're your little kids, of course, it's tricky. But even there, I would err on the side of building their autonomy rather than imposing your will. And we also talk a lot in the coach training about what you do when you catch yourself caring in the middle of a coaching session. There are ways to save it. There are ways to be vulnerable in that moment that can actually make you more effective. If you're interested, Well Start Coach wellstartcoach.com. We're starting a new cohort in November. And go to that page, wellstartcoach.com, and scroll down and listen to and read some of the testimonials, the experiences of people who've been through the program. And I will argue that it is the quickest, most effective way to become a coach. I've seen lots of other programs, and I stack this one up favorably with any of them. I know it's a bold statement. It might sound a little egotistical, but there it is, and you get to disagree and prove me wrong. If you take the course and you don't like it, you have the entire 12-week program to get a no questions asked, cheerful, full 100% refund, in case I'm wrong, because it happens. It happens from time to time. All right. Well, thank you all for attending, for watching. If you have questions, comments, you can post them in the comment section, either on Facebook or YouTube. I'll see you again tomorrow with more adventures in helping other people change. Have a great day.